We shared the same old train, sat side by side each day. Your hand was near to mine, yet miles away. The city rushed outside, the windows caught the light. We spoke about small things and skipped what felt right. There was no sudden turn, no reason we could name, just a little distance that quietly came. The space between two heartbeats became too wide to cross. Not built from angry words, not built from what we lost. It started like a whisper, too small for us to see, then grew into a place between you and me. The lamp beside the sofa still shines the same at night, but conversations ended before they reached the light. Your coat stayed by the door, my shoes stayed on the floor. Two lives kept sharing rooms, but not much more. Some walls are never built, they simply start to rise, one quiet inch at a time before our eyes. The space between two heartbeats became too wide to cross. Not built from angry words, not built from what we lost. It started like a whisper, too small for us to see, then grew into a place between you and me. I searched for one big reason, one moment I could blame, but all I found were little things that slowly changed. A chair pulled slightly farther, a shorter evening call, tiny steps that seemed so small, yet changed it all. The space between two heartbeats still lingers now and then, not asking to be mended, not asking to begin again. Just a quiet stretch of road where two old dreamers stood, wondering how something gentle stopped being understood. The floor still knows my steps, the lamp still turns on blue, the curtains move at dusk like they always do. The clock hangs on the wall, it never missed a day, yet something in this house has quietly slipped away. The chairs remain the same, the pictures never moved, but every little corner feels less than it used to. When the warmth left the room, the windows seem more wide, the evenings grew was built for laughter, now it echoes like stone. I try to fill the silence with work and passing days, but some spaces stay open. No matter what you change, when the warmth left the room, the windows seem more wide. The evenings grew much longer with nowhere left to hide. The air became a stranger, the light felt hard to hold, and even summer mornings started feeling cold. Maybe homes remember the people who belong. Maybe walls keep secrets long after they are gone. I don't ask for answers, I don't ask for more. I just notice what is missing each time I cross the floor. When the warmth left the room, nothing broke apart. It simply took its place alongside my heart. And though the house still stands the way it used to do, it never feels the same since it stopped holding you. A tune was on the radio one rainy afternoon. I turned the volume lower, but it stayed around the room. The singer reached the ending, the final chord was gone, yet somehow in my head the melody lived on. Some things know when to leave, some things miss their train and linger in the corners again and again. You were a song that stayed too long after the dancers left, after the lights went dim and nothing was left. I try to close the chapter, I try to move along, but my heart kept humming a song that stayed too long. I packed away the postcards, the jacket and the keys. I gave the plants more sunlight, I opened every breeze. Days became much fuller, the nights became less hard, yet part of me kept hearing the notes inside the dark. Not loud enough to stop me, not strong enough to stay, just soft enough to visit at the end of every day. You were a song that stayed too long after the dancers left, after the lights went bus arrived on time, like every week before. I took my usual place near the middle door. An old man read the news. A child looked outside, and there it was again, the seat by my side. No one chose that place the whole ride through town. It stayed there next to me, quiet and untouched. The last seat beside me still carries your shape. Though the years keep moving, it somehow remains. People come and leave at every stop they see, but nobody stays long in the seat beside me. The driver knows my face, the route is still the same. The streets wear different stores, but I still know their names. The river passes slowly beyond the window frame, and every mile reminds me nothing lasts the same. I never saved the place, I never asked them to. Yet every time I look, I think of you. The last seat beside me still carries your shape. And though the years keep moving, it somehow remains. People come and leave at every stop they see, but nobody stays long in the seat beside me. Maybe it's not the chair, maybe it's not the ride, maybe it's just the habit of wanting you nearby. The city keeps expanding, new roads cross the land, yet some old journeys stay exactly as they began. The last seat beside me feels lighter than before. The ache no longer follows through every open door. Still, when the sunlight enters and warms the faded scene, I glance beside me gently at what used to be. The bike path by the lake still curves around the trees. The wooden sign still stands, swaying in the breeze. The ice melts in my drink. The afternoon moves slow. Everything remembers something I don't know. I walk the same old places, I see the same old sky, but something good has vanished and I can't tell why. Where the bright days went, nobody can say. Maybe joy changes places the way rivers do, leaving old shores behind to search for something new. Where the bright days went, I may never learn, but every fading sunset shows me they won't return. Still I keep a small hope beneath the evening blue, that somewhere brighter waits beyond the thought of you. The rug shows fading marks where a small table stood. It's gone now from the room, but the outline still looks good. And there remains upstairs without the picture frame. Tiny signs stay longer than the people they came with. I don't keep old letters, I don't replay old days, yet traces stay behind in quiet little ways. The shape of what we were still rests around this place, not in words or promises, just an outline I can trace. Like sunlight on old wallpaper or footprints after rain, a form that stays a while, though nothing else remains. The bookshelf has more room, the closet has more space. The mirror by the hallway reflects a different face. The mornings feel familiar, the evenings pass with ease, yet sometimes I still notice the gaps between things. Not everything is missing, not everything is gone. Some things simply change and quietly move on. The shape of what we were still rests around this place, and not in words or promises, just an outline I can trace. Like sunlight on old wallpaper or footprints after rain, a form that stays a while, though nothing else remains. I used to think that endings arrive like closing doors. Now I know they happen in smaller ways than before. A shifted piece of furniture, a key no longer used, a life that keeps on growing into different views. The shape of what we were gets lighter every year, not because I forget you, but because you're no longer here. And though the outline softens with every season through, part of this old house will always resemble you. Rooftop caught the storm just after 10:30. Drops danced across the glass again and again. I sat beside the lamp, watching the silver street. Then something in the weather brought you back to me. Not your face, not your smile, just a sound for a little while. Your voice beyond the rain, across the evening air. Not loud enough to follow, just enough to hear. Like a distant station, fading out of range. A sound I almost knew but could not fully name. The traffic lights below, painted colors on the road. A cyclist passed alone beneath the clouds that rolled. The world kept moving forward without a single pause, while one forgotten feeling knocked softly at my door. No message arrived, no phone began to ring. Only the weather carried a familiar thing. Your voice beyond the rain, across the evening air. Not loud enough to follow, just enough to hear. Like a distant station, fading out of range. A sound I almost knew but could not fully name. Maybe it wasn't you, maybe it never was. Maybe the heart remembers more than it does. The mind can close a chapter, the feet can walk away. Yet certain little moments choose their own place to stay. Your voice beyond the rain grew softer as time passed, like footprints near a shoreline that were not meant to last. Now when the clouds arrive, I simply let them through. The rain no longer brings you back, it only brings the rain. There's a frame by the river, built from wood and stone. It stands beneath the hillside passing seasons visited below. The staircase ends abruptly, halfway to the top. The garden lines we marked out never had a crop. A mailbox by the roadside never learned our names, and no one lights the lantern when evening slowly came. The river keeps on moving, the birds still cross the sky, yet that unfinished doorway always catches my eye. The house we never finished still watches from the hill, a promise left half written, a plan standing still. The rooms were meant for laughter, the walls were meant to grow. Now only passing seasons visited below. I don't drive there often, I don't need to see. The picture lives inside me, clear enough for me. Not every dream collapses, not every dream survives. Some simply stay unfinished for the rest of our lives. The house we never finished will never know our days. No birthdays in the kitchen, no pictures in the frames, but somewhere in its silence, a small truth remains true. I wasn't building just a house, I was building one with you. The gate still sticks a bit near the garden path. You used to lift it slightly before you walked past. The kitchen drawer slides slow, the handle leans to one side. You always knew the trick, I never asked why. Little things remember even when they should not, holding tiny pieces of what time forgot. This is a place your hands once knew, a place they shaped with care in ways too small for anyone to notice you were there. The marks remain on simple things, the way old rivers do. This house still carries signs of a place your hands once knew. The hallway bulb burns dim near the top of the stairs. You used to change it quickly without a second care. The shelf above the window still sits a little high. You measured it by eyesight, not ruler lines. No grand reminders stay, no giant monuments, only everyday traces. Here miss the quiet ways you made this place your own. A touch upon a doorknob, a flower by the sink, things I never noticed until I stopped to think. This is a place your hands once knew, though years have wandered through. The walls have learned new seasons, the floors have changed their view. Still every now and then a small detail comes into view and softly says your name without meaning to. There's a narrow road outside, running past the fields. The grass leans toward the stones like it never learned to leave. I walked there yesterday, just before the dark, and every bend I passed still knew where you had walked. The trees have grown taller, the fences changed their paint, but some paths hold on longer than people think they can. The road that kept your footsteps still stretches through the land, holding old directions no one else understands. I follow it for miles, though I know where it ends, at a place that belongs to yesterday, again and again. The river by the crossing moves slower than before. The wooden bridge still creaks the way it always did. A farmer waves from afar, the cattle roam the hill. Life continues onward, yet that road remembers still. Not with signs or markers, not with words or names, just in the way it welcomes the weight of yesterday. The road that kept your footsteps still stretches through the land, holding old directions no one else understands. I follow it for miles, though I know where it ends, at a place that belongs to yesterday, again and again. I don't search for your return, I don't wait by the gate. Some journeys teach the heart how to carry its own weight. Still there are certain evenings when the sky turns pale blue, and every mile of that old road feels closer to you. The road that kept your footsteps grows quieter each year. The wind has taken many things, but somehow left them here. And though the path continues beyond what I can see, part of it walks forever. version of me. We bought a little painting from the market by the square. Bright lines crossed together without a single care. It hung above the table through every passing year, until one day I noticed the colors weren't as clear. Nothing lost its beauty, nothing broke in two. The pictures simply changed the way people do. When our colors turned away, they did not leave a stain. They slowly found new places beyond the same frame. The red moved toward the sunrise, the blue followed the sea, and somewhere in that distance you stopped reaching me. The curtains caught the daylight and painted shapes below. The room looked just as lovely as many years ago. Yet every shade around us felt slightly rearranged, like pages in a story that quietly exchanged. No loud goodbye was spoken, no final line was drawn. We simply woke one morning and something had moved on. When our colors turned away, they did not leave a stain. They slowly found new places beyond the same frame. The red moved toward the sunrise, the blue followed the sea, and somewhere in that distance you stopped reaching me. Maybe every picture cannot remain the same. Maybe every canvas must welcome different paint. I don't regret the seasons that placed us side by side. I only miss the moment before the colors divided. When our colors turned away, the pictures still remained a little less connected, a little more changed. And though I keep it hanging for anyone to see, I know the brightest part of it lies somewhere beyond me. A folded page remains inside the top drawer, written on a Tuesday night years ago before. The ink has lost its shine, the paper bends with age, yet every line still waits upon that patient page. Some words are never spoken, some roads are never tried, some hearts keep whole conversations hidden deep inside. The weight of an unsent letter is heavier than it seems, not because of what it says, but what it could have been. A handful of small sentences, a name written in blue, carrying all the things I never gave to you. The stamp was never chosen, the envelope stayed bare. No mailbox ever held it, no hands received it there. The seasons crossed the calendar, the years moved down the line, yet that little piece of paper refused to leave my mind. Not every truth finds daylight, not every thought takes flight. Some remain beside us long after the night. The weight of an unsent letter is heavier than it seems, not because of what it says, but what it could have been. A handful of small sentences, a name written in blue, carrying all the things I never gave to you. Maybe it would change nothing, maybe it would change it all. Maybe it would only drift away like leaves in early fall. I'll never know the answer. That question stays with me, a door left slightly open without a key. The weight of an unsent letter grows lighter with the years. The paper keeps its silence while I leave it here. And though the words remain unread, their purpose has passed through. They were never meant to reach your hands, only to leave mine too. Mm.